Hey guys, it's Tiffany, and we're going to do some free tarot Friday. So if you're new, we do this, we just use a normal tarot deck. I use the Golden Tarot by Cat Black. And so we're going to go through the zodiac, Aries, all the way through Pisces. So everybody will get a reading. You can look for your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign. And if you're cross-watching, just have the intention that, you just need to get the message that you need to hear today. So hopefully you get some fun, practical advice. I want to apologize, I'm running a few minutes late. My morning calls ran over, so thank you for your patience. And let's jump in with Aries. So clearing for our Aries friends. What do our Aries folks need to know? Hi guys, hi Tanya, hi Frock. All right, clearing for Aries with some practical advice or guidance that they need to hear for the weekend. Every day's a weekend now, right? All right, we've got the Three of Wands, we've got the Knight of Coins, and the Five of Swords. All right, so I would say Aries, it feels like maybe you've taken a step further on your adventure. Maybe you're kind of like, you always wanted this thing and you're going for it and you're going for it, but it feels like maybe you're beating yourself up a little bit about it. So this could be that you feel like you've gotten in a little over your head. Maybe you've bitten off a little bit more than you can chew. You know, the solution is to kind of get right with yourself, right? So it's not necessarily that you need to have conversations and get on counseling calls and geek out on the astrology or anything. This is just like you getting in right alignment with you. Okay, so this is Aries, like, yay, you're going on your adventure. Maybe you made a decision that kind of feels like you're beating yourself up a little bit about it. Let's just get back in alignment with you and your true nature just as quickly as possible. So when the pendulum swings, right, the pendulum, like if you're way out here, the pendulum's going to swing and you're going to be way over here. It's natural that it goes back a little bit. So if this was your freaked out state and you're like, whew, feeling better, everything's fine, whew, back in my freak out state, kind of beating myself up a little bit, just know that you're unwinding and getting kind of back in good terms with yourself, really. Hey Magda, thank you. Hi Bobby and Kathy and Sammy and Shelly, Deanna, Yahira, hi. Okay, so let's go into Taurus. Glad you guys are all here. Clearing for Taurus. What do Taurus friends need to hear for the weekend? Some practical advice for our Taurus. Any of the Taurus watching, or that will watch later, okay. Heavy load, guys. Okay. So, this is kind of curious. So Taurus, you've got three major arcana cards here to work with and a 10. So the 10, it just feels like a heavy load. Maybe you've been taking on a lot. Maybe you've just been doing a lot. It doesn't necessarily have to mean bad. You know, we as humans are so quick to categorize something like good, bad, black, white, yes, no. You know, heavy equals bad. Heavy doesn't have to equal bad. This just means for you, Taurus, that you've either taken on a lot. Maybe you enjoy taking on a lot. I don't know. But that is a card of all of the wands, all of the action, doing all of the things. So sometimes I'm that way. I say yes to everything, right? And so that could be just what's going on in your life right now. There are these two cards that kind of are a calling to find some alone time. So maybe you've overdone it a little bit, or you're about to overdo it, or you're feeling like you want to do more. Don't. You know, these are cards where you need to spend, again, the same advice as Aries, alone time, getting right with yourself, tapping into your inner strength, your inner reserve, and your inner divine knowledge, you know, your inner divine wisdom. It does look like there's something that's being dismantled in your life. So we get the Three of Cups, which is sometimes three people in a relationship. Could be two people that are having a baby. It could be two people and one of them has a girlfriend on the side. It could be three roommates, right? But it does look like some situation is getting dismantled for you, and it just probably feels pretty heavy. Or you've just taken on a lot to escape and get away from that chaotic feeling. And so time alone in the woods, you know, that's the medicine of the yogis too. The yogis spend a lot of time alone in the woods, right? Yahira says she is doing a lot. Okay, cool. Gemini. So let's clear the deck for Gemini. Clearing for Gemini. What do our Gemini friends need to hear? Clearing for Geminis. Okay. All right. There's a lot of same energy going on, so I'm wondering if this is more of a universal feeling as opposed to the individual 12 zodiac signs. But I'll just continue to translate what I'm seeing, right? We've got the Two of Wands, Gemini. So feeling pulled in two directions, having the world in your hand and yet still you yearn. Maybe everything is, you know, okay, but you're kind of wondering, is the grass greener over here? And it just feels really heavy to you, like the Ten of Swords. I usually tell people the worst is over because there's just a lot of emotions going on with that Ten of Swords. So if you've thought a lot about this decision and you're just kind of like overwhelmed. I've done the pro and con list. I can't think about it anymore. I'm ready to turn it over to the cosmic beings, the unseen helpers. And that's what I would suggest for you, Gemini. It does look like you are moving forward. It does look like there's an area of financial concern that you have. It does look like somebody is being generous with you, whether that comes through an inheritance, a loan, unemployment. So it looks like things are just kind of woo up and down with the finances, and that might be why you're like looking at all these options and exhausting yourself with it. So just continue to ask for help with the unseen helpers, the angels, the guiding lights, your deceased loved ones, anybody, you know, your God, really. Who is it that you ask for help in the unseen realm? Okay, it's time to turn it over, basically. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I'm kind of quiet, kind of sad. All right, let's go into Cancer. Let's clear the deck for Cancer. What do our Cancer friends need to hear? Clearing the deck for Cancer. A message that they need to hear that's going to help them with their weekend, some practical advice. What fell out was the Lovers. Okay, so Cancer gets a message about love, a significant partner, a business partner, but most often that's for your lover, your significant other. Okay, and here we get a message of love, and it's like, yes, they're telling me yes, it is for love, it is about love. Okay, so Cancer, this is, you know, your heart space with your partner, your chosen love, your lover, your beloved, right? This isn't your kids or things like that. This is your equal, right? Or he or she who is on their way. That's the idea. The Judgment card here, it just said, this is like, have you been too hard on them? Are they being too hard on themselves? What kind of lesson do you need to learn about judgment within your relationship, within your partnership? The Judgment card also comes as a symbol of life after death. Often it's depicted with Jesus, you know, who was able to have a spiritual life after the tomb rolled away, you know, so this is a symbol of renewing your love in a way. I think that's good. I think that's a good message for you Cancers. Cool. Tanya says I'm spot on with Aries. Right on. Thank you. Thank you. It's not me. It's like the messages are coming through, right? So it's not me. It's the Aries watching, and I'm psychically able to connect into that collectiveness. Okay. So that was Cancer. Kind of a nice break in the rhythm for Cancer. Let's look now at Leo. What do our Leo friends need to hear? What do they need to hear most? What's some practical advice for them that can help them through the weekend, lighten up, live a little, understand themselves better? Okay. Hi Yvette. Hi Sammy. Okay. Hi Valerie and Mary, Shelton. Nice to see you guys too. So for Leo, okay, so Leo, ultimately, you probably know this, you were born with the ability to always get your wish, but it looks like right now, there's a lot of conversations being had, like this is the card of anxiety and losing sleep at night. This is the card of getting a message that maybe you didn't really want to hear. This is the card of having to change your perspective, or the advice of looking at this from multiple points of view, so that it's not just your way or the highway, that there's lots of fractals of information that are coming in, and you're just one light source. You know, it's almost like if you had a window that was broken, there's like lots of fractals of lights, and your perspective is just one of them. There's a whole lot to consider, and if you will look at them, that will free you up. If you stay my way or the highway, it will continue to give you anxiety. you know. Also, the Justice card comes up sometimes when we just need to let people have a human experience. We don't need to meddle. We don't need to get in their way. We don't need to give them our great advice from our personal experience. It's just like, let it happen, even if it's painful for you to watch. This could be a card of tough love. You know, just like the Aries, the other fire sign we read for, you get the High Priestess card, which is getting in divine right alignment with yourself. So it's not out there, the answer isn't out there, it's like getting right with myself. And if that means you've got to write a lot, if that means you've got to think, if that means you've got to talk on a tape recorder and listen to yourself for layered messages, you know, you got these swords cards, and that's why I'm saying all the communication arts to help you understand this. So journaling a lot right now is going to help you understand what it is that you really, really want, you know, Leo. And a lot of times it's just to be loved. So are your actions in alignment with that? And all good things to consider. Okay, Tanya is giving us some feedback on the Aries reading, and she says there was an incident that she can't stop beating herself up over. Yeah, I think that's in the energy field, you know. It's not just you, you're not alone, it's not only Aries. So I'm so sorry for whatever happened, and how can you, you know, if you need to make amends, make them, and clean up your side of the street as quickly as you can with a humble heart. And that's all any of us can do, is the best that we can do, right? We are human, we make mistakes. All right, so clearing now for Virgo. What do our Virgo friends need to hear? Clearing for Virgo. Clearing for Virgo. What does Virgo need to hear? Okay, got it. All right, Virgo. This is pretty straightforward here. Just keep going. Just getting more information. So Virgo, it's like take a rest. Give yourself a break. Spend time in nature. Take the naps when you need to take the naps. I had a friend read for me that isn't as familiar with tarot, and she drew this card for me recently. So she's like, okay, there's 3 swords on top and 1 down at the bottom, and they're taking a nap. And I'm like, right, good job. So that's what that card looks like. So that's immediately, even if you don't read cards, you realize that this person has been thinking about too much. They don't feel like there's anything they can do about it. So they need to take a rest. They need to just kind of pause and allow the unseen helpers to come in with more information. You know, Virgos are doers. Once they have the information they need, they'll go down the checklist. But if they're not clear on that, it can be overwhelming sometimes. So it's like pause and let the unseen world come to your assistance, Virgo. You feel like it's like mommy and daddy, right? The male and female archetype. Maybe the male archetype isn't quite on top of his game, and maybe in some way the female archetype is running the show in some way, and this just feels defeating or frustrating to you. So whether this is your parents, your step-parents, somebody in your world, whether it's you, and you're feeling defeated in terms of a significant relationship, one that you witnessed or one that you're in, the advice here is to do nothing right now. Sorry, this is the Hanged Man, and it's like this isn't your problem to fix. We're going to give it a break. We're just going to hit the reset button. We're going to do something that we love to do, Virgo. Okay, so Virgos, this is a message about love. And this is how, like, take a rest and play and let something unwind without your great direction and focus, you know. Just let it unravel. Okay? All right. Angelique says, thanks for doing this every Friday. You are so welcome. I do it whether I feel like it or not. You know, sometimes I'm human too and have a heavy agenda, but I really like doing this. I really like coming. I really do like being here and reading for you guys. It's fun for me and it tunes my skills up, and hopefully it gives you something fun you can utilize over the weekend. Okay, so after Virgo, we have Libra. So we'll clear for Libra. Clearing for Libra. What do our Libra friends need to hear? Libra. All right. Very similar energy here. We got the Eight of Wands, which means it's happening fast. So there's something to do with your the male in your life, or the person whom you're committed to, the job whom you're committed to. The Emperor usually comes up when it has to do with like the ball and chain, the thing that you are attached to. So there's something that you've been wishing for with regards to that is happening quite quickly, and you too can take rest. You too can let the unseen helpers roll it out. I'm going to say it's your lover, okay, because we got this Two of Cups. So Libra, if you're feeling unbalanced in your relationship, don't worry, it is evening itself out quickly, and it evens itself out with virtually no effort on your part. The effort is to just give it some time. The Empress is about, the Empress card is about fertility. You've planted the seeds and you're waiting on the harvest. So the message here is about trust, about faith, that things are happening, that things are incubating, and they're growing on their own without your great help. Your job is to take care of yourself first, right? That's what you're doing if you're pregnant too. You're growing a life, but you have to take care of yourself first. And that's really all you have to do. And you have to rest a lot, right? For those of you who have shared the journey of pregnancy and child, I guess, caretaking. Let's see, that was Libra. Roselle and Shelton say thank you, absolutely. Teresa says, oh my God, you're spot on with Virgo. She's trying not to take on her parents' issues, and she's planning to go to the pool and relax and enjoy herself. Awesome. Well done. See, you don't even need me. This is just reflecting what you already know, and I'm just picking up on your auric field. So good job of you seeing you in the cards. After Libra comes Scorpio. We'll check it out for Scorpio. What do our Scorpio friends need to hear? Clearing for Scorpio. Okay. All right, Scorpio. So it looks like you're just kind of tired of doing life alone. This is upside down. This is like a double whammy. This is like you've been doing it alone. You're feeling alone. You feel like you're the only one that's being responsible. You feel you know, like you just want some support in a way, and there's this hard conversation that kind of leaves you feeling drained and even more alone in some ways. Just know that here's the Magician card, that you have the ability to empower yourself. As above, so below. As you think, so shall you be. If you're in an unhealthy conversation, or if you're kind of beating yourself up about something, you're the only one that really can get yourself out of it. You know, and so you are the only one that can change your thought, and changing your thoughts will change the whole outcome. So if you also need to pause and meditate and reset before you just go forward with a plan, you know, like this is a message where you've been in self-reliance too long, and it's kind of, you know, to your detriment in some ways. So let's refocus, let's get a new vision. There is also something to do with somebody, something, or some place that you feel tied to or committed to. And this is the card of like boredom and sadness and anger. It's like you don't really want to be where you are. It's like wherever you go, there you are in some ways. So we're just going to keep focusing on this magical third option for you, Scorpio. What is it that you really want? You know, what is it that would really make you feel better, you know, because we've got to deal with all of the underlying issues, because again, wherever you go, there you are. I'm a Scorpio. I can say that is how I'm feeling. I have Sun, Moon, and Uranus in Scorpio in my 12th house, and I have a lot of I have Mercury in Scorpio. I have a lot of Scorpio energy, and last night I had a dream about a tidal wave. So if you look up tidal waves, it's like clearing massive amounts of emotional debris and buildup, and it's one of two recurring dreams I have. And so that's like personal business, right? One is the tidal wave. The other one is a bear chasing me, and the bear gets like right to the door, and I'm running up the stairs, and it's a different house every time, but the bear always gets in. And I'm like, wah, I'm at the top of the stairs and I can't do anything. Same thing with the tidal wave dream. It's like, oh my God, it's coming and I can't do anything. And so Scorpios, I think, as a collective, we're processing a lot of emotional stagnation, and that can feel intense. And it doesn't mean things have to change. It doesn't have to mean anything. You know, you can be a conduit of change just by doing the work of processing what you're thinking about. Okay. After Scorpio comes Sagittarius. What do our Sagittarius friends need to hear for the weekend? Some fun advice for them. Helps them feel like they've heard from the cosmos and not just me personally, you know, Scorpio, Sagittarius, great. The Temperance card. The Temperance is about reeling it in. We get this when we're overthinking, overdrinking, overeating, and we need to pause and detox and reset and calm down. This is about doing less, not more, taking something off your plate, minimalizing even further. Something is totally crashing down. You know, it may have to do with your love life. Here's the Ace of Cups about love. So it's like, everything is like the Tower card. You got to kick over your sandcastle and rebuild if in the area of love. Also money, okay? Sagittarius, it's like things are just starting over for you. You're going to have a tough decision here. You're going to feel pulled in two directions, you know, and ultimately it's like, it's just this battle that's been going on. You know, you want to change your perspective, but you don't have all the information you need. And so it makes you kind of feel like stuck, like you're kind of going in circles in some way. So I just go back to the first card, which is about do less, not more. Take something out of your life, you know, take something off of your plate so that you can focus on what you need to do to move in a clear, confident direction. Scorpio was on point. Thank you, Ashley. Cinnamon is definitely overeating. Yeah, I feel ya. Sometimes that's one of our coping mechanisms, and we don't have to always go to it. We can use other coping mechanisms. If they're not working for us, they're not working, right? All right, let me get one more card for Sag so I don't leave you guys hanging. What do they need to do? If you to just tell them to do something, you know, Sag, I hate to tell you this because you're good at this, but we've got the Queen of Wands, the Page of Wands, and the Hierophant. So this is about getting in action, taking a new action, doing something totally different in terms of your committed partnership, you know, so this is more love than money. So this is about putting that first and taking a new action towards that. So hopefully that speaks to some Sagittarius. Everywhere I cut the deck, I get the Ace of Cups again. It does seem to be focused on your heart, your love life, and how you approach giving and receiving love. All right, so let's go on to our Capricorns. What do our Capricorn friends need to know or hear? Some practical guidance or advice for the weekend, just something simple, easy, tidbits. Doesn't have to be so heavy. Can be if it is. All right. Clearing for Capricorn. What do our Caps need to hear? Okay. All right, Capricorn, you too are dealing with the unknown. So being in limbo, being deceived, deceiving yourself. The moon brings an element of bullshit, and it brings an element of illuminating that which we don't normally get to see, the shadow side. All right, so Capricorn, if you're working with the shadow side, or if things feel unclear, or if you're in limbo, it's because this moon card has come out to show us the truth. All right, you're gonna have to dig into your inner strength. You know, you're gonna have to find what you're really, really made of. You're gonna have to dig deep and go slow and steady and calmly. If you have an adverse reaction, the lion is going to freak out and cause problems for all of us, right? So you're gonna be pulling on your inner reserves, your deepest strength, to move forward calmly through a time that doesn't feel certain for you, where things feel unstable. You're just gonna kind of chop wood and carry water and go smoothly and see how you can have almost no reaction. Non-reaction would be the goal. I'm not saying like detached and aloof. It's just like, how can you be slow and steady while everything else is going like this and you're unclear? You know, you're unclear of what the next thing is. So, you know, I think for Capricorns out there, let's get one more card. Yeah, you just feel like you're rolling the dice, like you felt like you're rolling the dice for a long time and you're not sure how it's going to go. So what you're going to do, Capricorn, is just the next right thing. You're taking new action, and that can be scary. And so if you feel like you've got to move, if you feel like you've got to take on a new job, if you feel like if you're taking care of somebody who's ill, if you're doing something that feels monumental, all you're going to focus on is the next right thing, the Ace of Wands. that little bitty action. So maybe you don't have to move today, but maybe you pick up the phone and call one mover and get one quote. Maybe you call one friend and see if they have something available. It's just small actions divided up over time that help you get your energy going in the frequency of the direction that you want to be moving in. Cinnamon says, Sag here, she needs to learn to listen. Awesome. I have Sag rising, I understand. And Susan says that the Sag reading was crazy on point. Wow, thank you. She says, appreciate it. Thank you for listening and being here. I'm glad when they resonate. Sometimes they don't, and that's okay too. Just helps you get clear on what you want. And that's all I want, is to empower you. All right, so after Capricorn comes Aquarius. Let's see what our Aquarius friends have to do. Let's hear for our Aquarius. What do our Aquarius friends need to hear? Some practical advice, something fun, something out of the blue, something they hadn't thought of, a new perspective. What do they need to know for their weekend? Okay. They too are the magician here. They too are kicking something down. All right, so the Eight of Coins, Aquarius, you know, this is like chop wood, carry water. This is going through the motions. This is hard work, and it's like, don't give up. You're continue to do the actions based on the wishes that you have. So if you were conjuring, what are you conjuring? You know, usually it's love or money, but I don't see necessarily it going any way. So whatever project or situation that you're wishing for, that you're hoping is going to turn out, that you have an expectation of outcome for, then make sure that you're doing the actions and prioritizing your daily life with that which you say that you want, right? There could have been some worry, there could have been some upheaval and turmoil, it could have felt like wrong, but that's just our human mind being in judgment once again, bad, good, right, wrong. It isn't good or bad, right or wrong, it just is. And you're the one feeling this turmoil from it because you're associating good or bad with it, okay? Just have faith that your project is working out. You have set this ball rolling, and you just got to keep doing the steady actions in daily life to get the outcome that you said that you wanted, or you got to change what you say that you want. Okay, so here's the Three of Wands too, and still you yearn. You might be ready for a trip, you might be ready to escape, you might be ready to get out of town. That's not the case. That's just your warning that it's like, okay, I'm ready for a new perspective actually. Because this card, this Three of Wands, is like willingness to get out of town, is very Sagittarian, it's very ninth house, it's very philosophy oriented. And so then to get this card next to it, that just means, like, to me, you are looking for a new perspective. You need higher ground. Sometimes you got to change the routine up a little bit, but do the basic steps to get the result that you have said that you wanted. Okay, Delana says, thank you, you're most welcome. Thank you for being here. And we've got Pisces, so let's clear the deck for Pisces. What do our Pisces tribe need to hear for the weekend? Something fun and insightful, some cosmic dots being connected for Pisces. Fair for Pisces. Okay. All right, Pisces. Pisces, learning how to be the star of your own life. You know, it's not an easy game, but this is your major arcana card for the weekend. So illuminating your own presence, shining your soul light, and doing any hard work to heal any of the wounds or fractals that have been bound or tied to something that doesn't work for you anymore, any agreements that were made and changed. You know, it's like, let's let those go so that you can shine and be the star of your own life. My friend Deborah, who wrote the Tarot Primer, the book that I reference quite a bit when I'm teaching Tarot, you know, she'll sign her book that way, be the star of your own life, you know, and that's in reference to this card. Okay, so she's got two little things of water, so there's several dogs around, there's even a mermaid in the sea. You know, you can just look at this card and get every piece of information that you needed to hear just by looking at it. But the idea is that you're shining in a dark place. So you're not going to get people to help you. You are now the helper. You are now the lighthouse. You're not seeking guidance all the time. You are the guiding light. So if you show up in a group setting and it's like really a downer, you don't have the opportunity anymore to be like, oh, this thing sucked, you know. You're like, okay, it's dark, we need to turn the stars on, you know. So like, you're gonna be the lighthouse now. All right. And it does seem like you might also be beating yourself up about something foolish. This is a fight not worth having because nobody wins. Say your piece, let it go, forgive yourself, be able to move on with a clean and clear conscience. That's what I would say about that. Okay, being a light in a dark place is a big call, you know, it's a big challenge. So you have to take care of yourself if you are a lighthouse. And so I would encourage you to do that too this weekend, Pisces. All right, guys, we have been on for 30 minutes. I appreciate you being here. It means a lot to me. And I'm going to go hit the reset button myself. And I hope you all have a beautiful weekend. I'm teaching yin yoga on Monday nights. If you'd like to join us, you can do that at delsolaustin.com and go to the schedule and pick out my yin yoga class on Monday nights. There's many great teachers to pick from. I do personal sessions. So if you're wanting a personalized astrology, tarot, or mediumship reading, I would love to do that for you, with you. The idea is that you kind of find your own guiding light through the sessions, and you know, that I think that's all that's going on right now. There's a lot being processed in June, and my heart is with each of you. If you've enjoyed this session, please pay it forward by doing something kind for somebody else. It just takes a little bit of your time and maybe some of your experience, okay? And otherwise, I do appreciate your virtual tips in the tip jar, either through Venmo or PayPal. I'll put a link in. If not, I understand that too. Sometimes we just need to be in a place of receiving. So I hope everybody has a great weekend. And until we can work together again, all right, namaste, guys.